The U.S. says the blockade is ironclad and growing more powerful by the day. The Navy has stopped 6 ships carrying Iranian oil to squeeze their economy. The U.S. blockade on Iranian ports there and Iranian retaliation for it have kept ships anchored.
The waiver is an attempt to lower gas prices. The U.S. military said it launched another strike on Friday on a boat accused of ferrying drugs in the eastern Pacific Ocean, killing at least 2 people. President Trump says U.S. is in armed conflict with cartels in Latin America. He says the attacks are necessary to stop the flow of drugs into the U.S. America's listening to Fox News.
Hi, I'm Benny Jr. with Bartow Ford. Everyone has heard me speak about going the wrong way. But let me be clear, the wrong way means the wrong way of doing business. This includes gimmicks, games, and unfulfilled promises. Tactics you will never ever find at Bartow Ford. For over 73 years, we've been doing business the right way. So on your next purchase, don't go the wrong way. Come to Bartow Ford and see why we're different, and we prove it.
Okay, Ella, I'm sure you've noticed some changes.
Who are you talking to?
I'm just practicing for when I have to tell the dogs about the twins. You know, because the...
Be fine in the spacious third row seat.
The twins.
Can sleep peacefully thanks to the rear manual sunshade. Extra cargo space for strollers and dog beds.
I guess you're right.
Can we go to the hospital now? The contractions are getting closer.
The 3-row Lexus TX. Because everyone should feel like the center of the universe. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
America has a shortage of skilled tradespeople. The Lowe's Foundation is committed to helping train 250,000 new workers by 2035. Watch Building Back to Memphis Trades, premiering April 11th on Magnolia Network, and stream it next day on HBO Max and Discovery Plus.
Ahoy, anglers! Captain Mike Anderson here from Real Animals. If you're looking for the ultimate fishing and boating adventure, look no further than Hubbard's Marina. Family owned and operated for nearly 100 years. Hubbard's Marina guarantees an excellent client experience and superior guest service. They're the original, longest running, and have been voted the best in the country 3 years in a row by USA Today. Whether it's deep sea fishing, dolphin watching, or sunset cruises, Hubbard's Marina has it all. Book your adventure today at hubbardsmarina.com. See you on the water.
The following is a commercial program paid for by Real Animals Fishing. The opinions, viewpoints, and promises made during the following program are not those of WFLA AM, its staff, management, or parent company, iHeartMedia Incorporated.
Welcome to the Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show, your weekly voyage into Florida fishing. Presented by Hubbard's Marina, hosted by Captain Mike Anderson and Captain Dylan Hubbard.
Good morning, Tampa Bay. Captain Dylan Hubbard here for Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show. Talking fishing this morning. Got Captain Ray Markham in studio this morning. Captain Bucky Goldman in studio this morning. Talking fishing. Unfortunately, no Cap Mike Anderson, and unfortunately, here for only 2 hours. But looking forward to a great show. We got some beautiful weather going up. Got lots to talk about coming into that full moon. We're on a quarter moon this weekend, but things are going to be spicing up through the week as we have a really beautiful forecast ahead. And around a week from today, Friday coming up, we have that full moon effect. So while tides will be moving slower this weekend, water will be picking up slowly as we get into Tuesday, Wednesday, and things really kicking off by the end of the week. And the entire period here for the next 7 days has about 10 mile an hour or less. Gets to a little bit moderate midweek, 10 to 15, but nothing in 15 plus at all until we are late weekend coming up. So really a beautiful week ahead. Great weather. Water temperatures are slowly, steadily climbing. Things are really starting to look like spring out there. And it's a great time to get out on the water. We're going to be diving into that, of course, deeply today with Captain Bucky and Captain Ray. But first, want to give a shout-out to our friends over there at Reese Windows and Doors. This weather update is brought to you by Reese Windows and Doors. They are Florida's leading window and door company with over 50 years in business. They offer free installation on most windows and doors, and they install in just 6 weeks. They only use in-house installers, no freelance contractors, and their work comes with a double lifetime warranty, which means you never pay for a warranty when you sell your home, and that warranty transfers to the new owner, adding value to your home. Visit reesewindows.com for more information. Definitely exciting times with things heating up out there. It's it's interesting out in the pass. I mean, we got the snook on the move. We still have clouds of sheep's head around the docks and bridges and piers. Yesterday, we were spending time down at Don's Dock and just loaded up. I was at Shell Key this past weekend, hanging out with the kids in knee-deep water, and schools of sheep's head passing us. It was pretty wild. So it's awesome to see that overlap, right, of that spring warming weather pattern, a lot of that cool weather pattern still going on, but exciting times. What were you saying, Ray?
I said those are kind of late for this year. I mean, it's
I know.
sheep's head usually February, March, and they're just everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But it's crazy. It's like we were down in TRC, and I was expecting to see a lot more tarpon. I saw a few, but we weren't tarpon fishing. We were snook and redfish and trout and whatnot. But the schools of juvenile redfish down there are still there. They're thinning out a little bit. A couple weeks ago, we saw a pile of them down there. We probably caught 30 of them that were undersized. And we caught a few day before yesterday. And, they spunky fish. The water temperature started out about 72 and popped up to about 74 during the day. But, another day in paradise.
Same in the Upper Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there. I went to a spot where I usually see tons of sheephead. It was a rocky area, and there was no sheephead there, like nothing. So they must be moving back out to the beaches and stuff.
They must be on that move because there's a ton of them staged in the pass, and out on the beach it was wild. It was like pet sheep's head. When you're walking in the sand and you create that little puff of sand and all the fish come in to check it out. I had 10 sheep's head around me.
When you mess with your feet and they come all up. Oh, yeah, get those sand fleas ready.
It was nuts, man.
Are you seeing a bunch of snook up there yet?
Not a bunch of snook.
Yeah.
The snook are just kind of starting out there. I've had my first couple reports this week of some snook showing up in the pass, when you go check out a light and there's one fish, it doesn't really look fishy, and you keep moving. Now it's just getting to the point where we're going to catch some snook today.
Right.
Yeah, so it's just starting in the passes, or at least in John's Pass.
Yeah.
And there's some snook out in the beaches in the morning. The jetty is staging up, so it's just about getting right.
How's the dredging and stuff doing?
The dredging project in John's Pass is going very slowly, and unfortunately found out it was the ball was 100% dropped on the design. So Linda Cheney worked really hard and got this money from the state, and the city manager was supposed to be working with this contractor, Aptum, to design the plan. The city paid $10,000. We paid $10,000. Everybody chipped in $10,000. There was this $40,000 study done by this guy, Ping Wang. And Ping Wang from USF. He's like the leading coastal scientist on sand movement. Well, he did this study and showed exactly how the design of the project should be laid out, with the grade it needs to be dug to, how we need this little sediment collection hole west of the bridge. And I just assumed that they had this 150-page study that we paid $40,000 for, and that's what they were using to design this project. Turns out, nope. They didn't even look at it.
Really?
Nope. Didn't even glance at it. So this construction project is designed in a total half-butted way, and it's not going to be what it's supposed to be, and there's going to be dry land left. So when they're done, it's still going to be a beach there. It's incredibly frustrating. It's not only going slower than expected. When they're done, it's going to be not what we expected at all. So it's very frustrating.
That really doesn't surprise me, because it seems like if you look at the whole West Coast, all the passes are due east and west.
Mm-hmm.
Mother Nature wants it to be southwest and northeast.
Well, it depends on the area, because longshore transport is different along the coastline. So like in our area, longshore transport is from north to south. So our channel would make more sense. It naturally wants to go more kind of like southwest.
Well, here's yes.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how I think.
But in other areas, it might be northwest.
Okay. Your strongest tides are always the outgoing tide on new and full moon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And when that tide starts ripping, if it goes out and the outgoing tide runs south along the shore, okay? So if it goes out and in our area, and it pushes all that sand and everything south. So if it's like this, it's going to cause less erosion because there's less friction water going out that direction.
The thing is, in any area, when you have hard coastal structures like seawalls, like bridges, like docks, we are messing with the coastal environment. So you're gonna have issues. If you look at areas like Galveston Harbor is the largest artificial reef system in the world because they built 4-mile jetties. I mean, there's areas of that jetty where you have a 60-foot rock wall that they created artificially to preserve and protect the Port of Galveston. And I mean, there's 270 charter boats in Port Galveston, and a majority of those boats
almost like Anna Maria
never leave the jetty. Yeah. They do jetty trips, sharks, spadefish, bull reds.
Right.
And I mean, essentially that's in the Johns Pass Inlet Management Plan, not a 4-mile jetty, but a 100-yard jetty, because it's just like firearms. The longer the barrel, the more velocity of the bullet.
Right.
So one of the options in the inlet management plan for Johns Pass is creating a jetty on the north side that's 100 yards longer.
Right.
If they added 100 yards to that north jetty, the sand in our area moves from north to south. So north of that north jetty, the sand would accrete. Madeira Beach would exponentially grow and continue to grow until that sand reached that new 100-yard jetty. South of that jetty, you'd have deep water, and so you'd have a longer, straighter channel from the bridge west, and that longer, straighter channel with more velocity on that ebb jet, which is the outgoing tide, the fancy name for the outgoing tide in hydrology terms. So the ebb jet would go longer, straighter, with more velocity. So the outgoing tide would carry it further west, and your channel would naturally get straighter, would naturally get deeper, and it would stay straighter and deeper further west.
Did they say what depth they're planning on dredging that out?
Only a -12, which is not very deep.
-12.
Yeah, there's.
What's that in feet?
I wish I knew. Yeah, there's basically the design of the project called for a -21, and the design of this project is only going to a -12 or -14.
So you could have had grouper trips just the other side of the bridge.
Yeah, it's very, very frustrating that the ball was completely dropped and this 150-page report was completely ignored. So I mean, just classic government bureaucracy. I mean, we got the money for this project in September of 22. The permit wasn't even pooled until July of 24. And now they're like, oh, all the sand has built up since the project was designed. It's like, no kidding, man.
Life goes on.
We waited, 2 years to pull a permit, and you're surprised that there's more sand there?
Did the hurricane affect that? Like, did that push a ton of sand in there? Or?
Dude, I took 24 dump trucks full of sand out of the parking lot.
Out of your parking lot.
Yeah.
So, but like,
all the sand
the
ended
jetty
up in
too
the parking lot.
just...
Luckily, a lot of that sand ended up in our parking lot. We were able to move it out because if the sand had just stayed on the beach, we would have been, Johns Pass would have been closed up, right?
Right. Yeah.
So it's, the hurricane affected a lot, unfortunately. But most of that sand ended up in our parking lot, and we had to truck it out. But, yeah, it was crazy, man. It's been a long road. So, yeah. Thanks for bringing that up, Ray. Appreciate it. Way to start the morning off.
Yeah, you just made him all angry and annoyed.
I'm all afraid.
Great. We got a 6'8" guy who's all tethered.
Speaking of talking with Ray, if you enjoy that, he is going to be joining us at ACC Roadhouse this week. We got ACC Roadhouse coming up on the 28th. So this coming Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Make sure you join us. We got free food, or we got free gifts. We're giving away full day rods, Ingo Cooley, Hubbard, Marina, and Real Animals flag. We got great food to purchase and great drinks, and of course we'll be talking to Capt. It's going to be a good time. We'll see you there. Real Animals Radio will be right back after this.
$1,000 in your hand can change your home.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah,
ACC Roadhouse, always fun.
I'm super close to getting a power pole move, and I'll probably bring it to Mahoney to do the
get it strapped up.
Yeah,
that's cool.
But yeah,
that'll be my next.
I have my motor guides, and I back up, and one of them's kind of chunky. The other one's like the spot lock's not working, and it's just like. You know what's weird though? You know they did the Howard Franklin Bridge, and they pulled out they removed the old bridge that was there. They pulled out one pylon at a time.
Right.
And they did quick work on it. But last year, this time with that extra bridge there, the bait was stacked up from one side to the other. You could just go there. I didn't chum for months.
Can you tell any difference in the flow?
Yeah, it's ripping. Yeah. But which is good. But like the bait hasn't been stacked up there, and I'm like, oh, that's nuts, man. Like, I don't think it made too much of a difference, but I mean, it's definitely it does move there better. But that other bridge, like there was.
You getting any pompano up there?
I never.
They used to have freaking pompano.
I caught one pompano, like up there by like I've caught a few, but over by like the Booth Point oyster beds that are the long oyster beds that where the old power plant used to be, and it comes off and there's one out there on a piece of white bait.
You caught it on white bait?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
You've caught one pompano. It's been on white bait.
I caught you 8 of white bait. Like,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Don't forget, guys, voting closes Monday. So I saw someone bring up in the comments voting. You got until Monday to get your vote in there. So vote every day for the next 3 days. Help us out.
Vote for
the #1 charter boat in the entire country, buddy. USA Today poll. Trying to win it for the 5th year in a row.
Well, ain't me.
You're #1 in my book.
See, now that you're on the radio, everybody's going to know you're actually in the running.
Yeah.
And trying to stay ahead of the game.
Bucky, what's the name of your charter again?
Bag'em Fishing Charter.
Bag'em Fishing Charter.
Right.
Bucky,
So
Capt,
you
Bucky, Goldman.
You have bag limits.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I rarely ever keep fish. And then my initials are Bag. You know. So
Your what?
Bag. Brian Alexander
your
Goldman.
what?
My initials.
Oh, your initials.
So I did like bag them.
Yeah, maybe I got to clean my ears out.
Yeah.
I thought you said your nipples.
No, what?
Jesus Christ.
What?
Yeah, they got different names.
Got a different name for each one.
Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I ran out of coffee way too quick.
Oh, so I had this charter recently with some like really attractive ladies, and like I caught a bunch of redfish and I took photos and I sent it to them, and I sent it to one. She's like, did you not notice my photo? And I'm like, which one? She's like, this one. I'm like, oh my God, your nipple is sticking out. And I'm like, I'm so glad I didn't post that. And I was like, I'm deleting it now. No clip.
Okay, how did you manage to catch that little?
I didn't even notice. Because I'm a gentleman.
I'm a gentleman. I wasn't looking.
Okay. I wasn't.
We're back, Bartow for Real Animals Radio, talking fishing this morning. Want to give a shout out to our friends over there at Affordable Roofing Systems. Whether you need a shingle, metal tile, or a flat roof, our friends at Affordable Roofing Systems are your safest choice for repairs or replacements. With over 3 decades of roofing experience, let Affordable Roofing Systems guide you through this important process. They are defined by integrity, respect, and honesty, and they have a professional approach to doing business. Call 1-888-397-ROOF for your free estimate, or visit them online at affordableroofingflorida.com. With that, we're going to cut over to our buddy Donald in Lutz to hear from him. Remember, if you want to join the conversation, you can give us a call at 1-800-969-9352. If you want to say hi to Captain Ray Markham, Captain Bucky Goldman, give us a shout or bring us a fishing
Or even
report.
if you don't want to say hi.
Yeah. Even if you just want to talk about fishing, give us a call, 1-800-969-9352. With that, Donald in Lutz, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, speaking of free food, I got free food for everybody today at Bay Pines Park.
Oh, I'll be over there.
Nice.
Donald Weiberman.
Spanish mackerel. I got some Spanish mackerel last week and put them in my smoker, and I made some fish spread.
Ooh.
So we got fish spread. I've got cheeseburgers and andouille sausage. I've got beef brats and hot dogs. So
We had a 39-hour trip going out yesterday, and I had 2 different guests bring me venison sausage. It was a good day.
Hey, man.
Yeah, I love that.
What time?
Yeah, what time, Donald?
1 o'clock. 1 o'clock.
Okay.
1 o'clock.
1
Be there,
o'clock
be square.
till 3 o'clock. Be cooking.
Nice.
So, yeah, I'm at Bay Pines. I just arrived at the boat ramp. I'm going to launch at the boat ramp, and I'm going to head east. I think it's east. I don't know. Towards maybe it's north. No, it's got to be east, whatever it is. I don't know. By the bridge.
Yeah, if
Bay Pines
you
Bridge.
launch out of that boat ramp and go directly east and then work that seawall to the south, man, you'll find the fish. There's plenty of good fish in there for sure.
There's a ton of mackerel showing up.
Yeah, there was the Hobie kayak like professional team from all across the world. They have these anglers that come like from Amsterdam. It's crazy. They these all-star kayak guys, and they brought them to Upper Bogosiega Bay and Gals. Yeah,
Bogosiega Bay.
Yeah, they fished around Johns Pass, like Johns Pass vicinity, and man, the fish that these people put up and the amount of quality stuff, like from cobia to big bull reds to massive snook, it was crazy. I was like, these fish are back here? It was crazy what they caught. Yeah, and it was basically from the VA Bay Pines boat ramp area to TI Causeway, and just working that seawall. It was crazy. So a lot of fish in there.
Oh yeah,
that's what I'm hearing. So it should be a fun time today. There's going to be about a dozen of us hanging out. So also looking forward to seeing you guys on Tuesday at OCC.
Yes,
it's going to be a lot of fun.
Don't threaten us with a good time.
With the DOA bait buster.
Don't give away the whole seminar, Bucky. It's going to be fun.
You can't have any.
OCC Roadhouse, 7 p.m. coming up this Tuesday. We'll see you then, Donald. Thanks, buddy. Good luck today.
How's
See you later, Donald.
How's
See you, buddy.
Mark doing? You talked to Nichols lately?
Yeah.
He's doing good?
Yeah, he's doing fine.
Mark Nichols is the man. Yeah. I love seeing him at all the fishing shows.
Oh,
he's
so
like
much fun.
Like, you know how you hear stories about politicians, like Bill Clinton, how he remembers everybody he met. And, like, whenever you see Bill Clinton, he treats you like, oh, yeah, longtime friend. That's the story you hear. That people like that have a gift for remembering names. Dude, Mark Nichols is one of those guys. Because, like, ever since I was a little kid, when I walk up to the DOA booth and say hello, he's immediately treats me like an old friend. And I'm pretty sure I only see him at fishing shows. Like, we're not super close or anything like that, but every time I see him, it's like treats you like an old friend. It's just a good dude.
Man.
Really cool. And man, he's got some great baits. Love some DOA shrimp.
Yeah.
How many imitation shrimp are on the market now? I think about that all the time.
Like a lot. Voodoo, everything, Savage
lot.
Gear.
I mean, we could sit here for an hour and list all the imitation shrimps that have followed DOA.
I've been guiding for 30 years now, and I look back. I mean, Mark was probably one of my first sponsors. I mean, before actually I even started guiding, I had met him at a 6a-8a tournament downtown St. Pete, and he comes up and has this thing in his pocket.
Back then?
He's always got him in his pocket. You know, I don't know how he gets away with not getting hooked, but you know, it's like he pulls this thing out and hands it to me. I said, wait a minute, I saw one of those in a Kmart. You know, and they sold them single shrimp, and it was like 99 cents, you know. And at the time, I said, you know what? I was dating this girl, and I took her out fishing, but she only liked to fish with live bait. So I got her.
So you broke up?
I got, actually, yes. But I got her exactly the same number or amount of shrimp that you could get with what I paid for one DOA shrimp. And I outfished her by about 30 to 1. You know, even though the tail got bit off by a puffer within like the first 3 casts. And I got to thinking, you know, at that time, I said, well, shoot, you know, what would I do if I was fishing a live shrimp? You know, fish comes up and bites the tail off all the time, but, you know, throw it back out. And I did, and still outfished her.
That's crazy.
So
it's funny now, speaking of all these different artificial shrimps, they just came out with the voodoo shrimp from Nomad Tackle, Nomad BTX minnows, that company. Dude, the 4-inch shrimp is $18.99. That's the retail price of a imitation shrimp. It's asinine. I love my DOAs, man. Can't get away. Real Animals Radio will be right back after this. Give us a call to join the conversation, 1-800-969-9352. We'll be right back.
From the local
fish have you caught on a DA snake oil? I'm like, 0. What? No, I'm just kidding. I was like, 0, absolutely none. It's the worst bait I ever had. And they're like, I've been smashing redfish on it. I'm like, yeah, dude. I've been doing it for years. So,
The
when
DOA
it first
what?
came out, the snake coil.
Snake coil, yes.
SNAKOIL.
Snake oil. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that on its booth. I was like, what in the world is that?
Dude, that thing is awesome. I catch bass
Because
on
it coils up and then you pull it.
You pull it and
it
retract.
uncoils and then it...
I catch bass on it. I have not caught a snook on it, though.
Really?
Not a snook.
I have.
I had a little
You know what I
tarpon
did?
jump. I jumped a little tarpon on it once.
I put a light hook in the front. That's it.
I do a twist lock hook.
Well, that's
with the little weight on.
I just use a small one, throw it out, and just reel, and keep it up on the surface.
Oh yeah, they'll come
and then
up.
it's like.
Here's the problem. I like throwing at tail and reds, but there's no grass in the upper bay, and there's hardly any tail and redfish. But they'll on sand too though. They will chase it down.
Well,
I think it's like a little eel or a tube worm.
Well, that's what I like.
A pipefish.
That's what I like the Little
I've been
John
catching
for.
Honkers in my net. Like they're getting stuck in quarter-inch mesh. Like
That's
giant.
crazy.
Yeah, giant pipefish. When I was a kid, I filleted a redfish and it had 27 pipefish in its stomach. Which is like, that's nuts. They eat everything and everything.
Ronnie said in the comments, lure reveal to nipple reveals. Bucky's got it covered.
Hey,
he doesn't have the nipples.
I didn't say nipple. Ray spine's in the gutter.
No, it's not. It's just hanging over the curb. Come on.
Oh man, some of the stories.
Oh, here it is. Okay, this one is for Eric Bachman.
That's what I hear from him.
The Little John.
Nice.
And this guy's very cool.
Yeah, I just been so busy with charters, I haven't gone out throwing like artificial, but I've been using the curly tail.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have one rod tied up with a curly tail. And we're fishing at the jetty yesterday, and it caught 4 trout compared to the bait. Which
Are you seeing many pinfish yet?
They're everywhere.
They're not where I've been fishing.
They're everywhere.
I haven't had a single pinfish bite off a.
I mean, they're not biting like because I'm not like fishing on the flats, but they're everywhere.
Well, that's usually why I don't throw the curly in the summertime.
I'm catching tons of spot tails, like tiny little spot tails and tiny little pinfish. They're they're everywhere.
Cool.
Yeah, they did. I like how you're making fun of Mike, but that was the biggest.
It's huge. That's freaking huge.
Have you ever seen one that big?
Probably not. That's a big one.
Did you ever see this?
They're spawning right
when
now.
I was in the lagoon.
Yeah, the horseshoe crabs.
It was. I put it on top of my 5-gallon bucket, and it was bigger than the lid of the 5-gallon bucket.
Wow.
I had to bring it in the boat because I was like, that thing is gigantic. I mean, that thing weighed like 15 pounds, and it had and this is like a normal size you see.
Little trailer.
Yeah. I was like, oh my god. So I got a nice bass the other day.
A nice bass?
Yeah.
Where at?
Oh yeah.
In my lake.
He's got
Dang, I'm coming over.
8.42, and then
he's sitting there.
So the
just fishing behind your house?
Yeah, it's like
what kind of lure?
I caught that on one of my inshore rods with the owner circle hook and just a little yum trick worm. Wacky rigging it, throw it out there and just twitch and let it sink. Because it's like pretty deep. This little kid in my neighborhood,
dude,
he was fishing next to me. That's 8.44 pounds. I sent that to you.
Yeah, bro.
And he was like,
send me the address, brother.
That's a skinny one.
You ain't driving north of the causeway.
I will for that.
So
I want an 8-pound bass.
What? Yeah, there's in there.
Me and Dave are in a locked-in war on Fox 13. I had like a maybe 3.5-pound bass, and he just got like a 4.5, 5-pounder.
Oh,
so
we could beat that.
I gotta up him.
We could beat that. So the kid's fishing. He's like, "What have you been catching them on?" I'm like, "You got a chatterbait?" He's like, "I do." I'm like, "All right, what do you got on the trailer?" "A little paddle tail." I'm like, "Throw it out there." He's reeling. I'm like, "No, reel it slower. Slow as you can till you can still feel the vibration. And he's like, oh, I'm snagged. Oh, no, it's a fish. And I'm like, oh, you got like an 8-pounder on there before he even jumped out of the water. And it was like, jumping. The kid's like, ah, freaking out. I was like, yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. Theo and...
Just a random, that's the Rapala?
No, this is a Hedden 02. They haven't made these since probably the 70s or 60s. I was at Bonnie's Bait and Tackle, which was somewhere up in Clearwater, years and years ago, and I bought a dozen of them. That's all they had left, because I knew they weren't making them anymore. It was a killer bait. This was before, the regular Zara Spook was already going, but the 90s, was 95, 96 is when we were working on the Mirror Top Dog. This thing was killer. Then there was a Bill Norman rat lure that everybody got all over with, for redfish, because it's about this size, just about that big, and people were crushing redfish on it. But you hardly see a lot of these baits anymore, but they're great lures.
You know what I used to love?
What?
It was a prop bait, and it kind of had little like steps on it, and it was I forget
How many props?
2 props.
Okay.
And it had 2 treble hooks, 2 props, and I liked that bait.
To our friends over at Friendly Fisherman Seafood Restaurant. The Friendly Fisherman at Johns Pass is back under the management of the Hubbard's family, the same great family that's been serving up the best fishing and dining experiences in Madeira Beach for nearly a century. Come rediscover the Friendly Fisherman and taste the difference with the freshest seafood, improved menus, and the service you've come to expect from the Hubbard family. Enjoy unbeatable waterfront views, a welcoming atmosphere, and flavors straight from the Gulf. Locals and visitors alike, come see what's new today at the Friendly Fisherman. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to get out there and do some fishing this week, too, because as we come up on this full moon, it's going to be exciting.
Snapper bite.
Yeah, snapper. They're starting to fire off the mangroves for you.
I hardly ever go for them.
Yeah.
Because in the Upper Bay, you're either stuck at the bridges, or or some of the you got to go down to like some of the reefs down there, and I don't.
There's some terrific fishing for mangrove snapper around Skyway.
Yeah, down
and
that way, but that's a long run for me.
There's a ton of hard bottom down south of that.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of black sea bass.
Oh yeah,
they're small, 12 inches, 10 inches.
Good eating though.
But,
the tacos, black sea bass tacos, you can't beat.
Yeah, pure white.
It's definitely getting good offshore. The mangrove snapper offshore, we have our 44-hour full moon coming up this Friday. The 12-hour night snapper trips have been crushing them.
Are you booked out?
No, not really. This time of year is a little slower because we're on the backside of that spring, April, Easter chaos. Like spring break to Easter, we're real busy. And then about a week after Easter, it tapers off. And this time of year, it's like everybody can see red snapper season coming up. So they kind of let's take a break. Right. So right now, we're busy on weekends, but for the most part during the week, it's a great time to get out there because it's not too hot yet. Fishing's going really well, and the boats aren't really full. So this is a great time of year to get out and enjoy it and stretch your legs because yellowtail snapper fishing's incredible. We're getting a lot of big fat red grouper right now.
You guys have been whaling on those yellowtails.
Oh, dude. Absolutely insane lately.
I've been seeing the videos, you guys coming in on 39-hour and whatever. Jeez.
I haven't been offshore in 5-6 years.
Well, let's change that.
Let's go.
Yeah, we were talking about.
I got gas money, man.
You don't want to see the fuel bills, trust me.
Don't you have your own personal boat you go out in?
I do not. No, I go fishing on our boats. Yeah, it's a lot of fun though. But besides the yellowtail, we've been seeing a lot of the big triggerfish as well, and getting a few of those scamp grouper in the mix and mutton snapper. So it's been good offshore.
Are they selling those triggerfish over at Don's Dock?
The triggerfish, yeah. We get triggerfish in at the retail seafood market at Don's Dock quite a bit.
Those are good.
Yeah, they're hard to fillet, but man, are they good eating.
Are you still getting hogfish?
At the seafood market or catching them?
Catching.
Seafood market, we get them occasionally. They're a little less likely because it's just hard to get them commercially. But we are seeing them on the 10-hour trips. Not as
they're pushing off further.
They're just starting to, right? And it's not that they push out further, it's that they spread out. Once the water temperatures start warming up, so hogfish live in harems, and they tend to spread out over that like shell sand bottom, and they group up together off the structure. So it makes it really hard to target them with hook and line. Right. And as the water warms up, more people are jumping in the water with spear guns, and you can swim an area and find the hogfish.
Don't they
a lot
go
more
deeper
easily.
During the summertime?
No.
No?
And to my knowledge, in my belief, Angela Collins is.
I was just going to say, I thought I
she's the
talking to Angela, and she was telling me about that.
She's the foremost hogfish expert that I know of, and she does a lot of spatial distribution studies, and a lot of what she has found in her studies is that hogfish can live very deep. There are hogfish populations in that 120, 140, 160 foot of water. Mm-hmm. We just don't catch them a lot in hook and line because when you get to that depth, there's so many other more aggressive, more aggressive species. And a hogfish is a wrasse. It's not a snapper. It's very unaggressive. So it's kind of the last fish to bite.
They sit back and watch everything else go.
Yeah, so
when they're all done, they go in and clean up.
Yeah, it's very hard to target them in that deep water. But you talk to the spearfish guys, the commercial spear fishermen that are diving regularly in 120 to 160 foot. Those are the guys who are shooting 20, 25-pound hogfish. I mean, you go to one of those St. Pete Open weigh-ins, and you'll see a litany of 20-plus pound hogfish.
I did one of those in 1969.
Yeah. Okay. Take your word for it.
Were you born?
No, I was not.
Oh.
No, neither was I. I'm 1980. I just turned 46. So.
Well, this is funny. I mean, I started out, I was looking for some big sheep's head, and I was around Egmont, and I think it was called the coal docks back then. There were two docks out there. There was the Coast Guard dock, and there was this other dock. And anyway, I'm diving down there, and it's maybe 15 feet of water underneath the dock. And I found this thermometer on the bottom. And I'm looking at this thing. I said, I wonder what this is doing down here. Mm-hmm. And I look up, and I see somebody, like, bending over looking down at me. Mm-hmm. So I surfaced, and I came up, and I said, are you missing this? He said, oh, yeah, that's a thermometer that we use for, telling them what the water temperature is at Egmont Key. We lost it about 3 months ago. Mm-hmm. So they've been kind of like sticking their toe in the water. Yeah, it feels like about 65.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's nowadays that dock is ruins and it's in dry land. It's amazing how much that island has shifted from the west to east. It moves a couple inches every year.
Well, if you remember what it was like just outside of Blind Pass or Bunce's Pass to the south, there was never an island out there. And now there's another island in Spoil that's sitting out there, and I think that's like half a sand key or shell key.
Yeah, right.
I mean, a lot of that stuff just went whoosh, moved south.
Yep. A lot of sand movement along our coast over the years, for sure.
Yep.
And they keep adding to Egmont. That's why it hasn't totally marched even further east and impeded the shipping channel. The fishing channel, I called it. It is a fishing channel for a lot of us.
It's a fishy channel.
Yeah, that's for sure. And again, reminder, this Tuesday night, April 28th, we're going to be over there at OCC Roadhouse with Captain Ray Markham here and Captain Mike Anderson and hopefully Mahoney. Maybe Bucky, he said. Maybe.
I got to get permission first.
I hear that. That resonates. I get it. And we also are going to have free Ingle coolers to give away, free Bull Bay rods, some Real Animals and Hubbard's Marina swag. Plus, they got killer food over there.
And we've got some more surprise stuff to give away.
Yeah, Ray keeps hinting at some more surprise stuff.
Throwing stuff at us.
Yeah, we got lots of tackle to give away, I assume. Some lures, some artificials.
Maybe.
What you got, Bucky?
I've taken him fishing on my boat. He has yet to return the favor, but it's only because I'm busy with kids.
You're always busy with the dog or something.
So, but like his wealth of knowledge with lures and just situations and presentations. I mean, I learned so much just fishing with him like 3 times, and And it's cool. He brought this one Eppinger Rex spoon. And I'm like, I've never seen that before. And I tied it on and
He's like, I got this back in
smoked a
1969.
redfish on it. I smoked a redfish on it. And I was like, dude, that's a cool spoon. Like,
and it's weedless.
It is weedless. Yeah.
There are a lot of weedless spoons out there. I mean, the Johnson Silver Minnow has been around forever. I mean, but now it's made in China. It's still a good lure, but the durability is not as good. I mean, the
they
plating.
Don't make them like they used to?
Well, I think the Chinese don't like to use the gold plating. They just, it's a lot of cheaper stuff.
Well, I mean, I bought one of those.
No, it's cheaper to do it the way they do it.
Kevin Van Dam, like chatterbait or like little crankbaits. It got smacked by 2 bass and the whole finish fell off of it.
Wow.
I'm just
From
like,
a bass?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm just like, that's so annoying. Now it's just like white on one side, and I'm like, it's just like,
you know what? I can remember when I was a kid that we were using drone spoons, Huntington drone spoons. I mean, they're still around. They're owned by L&S Bait Company now.
Mirror lure.
And Mirror Lure. Yeah, same company.
No one
makes
knows
Miller.
what L&S is.
Well, but I mean, L&S Bait Company has been around for, forever.
Yeah.
I remember my grandfather's tackle box, my dad's tackle box. We all had 52Ms in there.
I remember when I started fishing with my dad inshore when I was 6, 7, 8, 9 years old in that range. It was our tackle box had basically a rattle trap, mirror lures, DOA shrimp, and maybe a gold spoon, and that was it.
Well, you know, if I go out on the boat, I typically rig at least 4 types of baits because I want to cover the water column. I've got a jig, which is you can use a jig in any depth of water as long as you adjust the rod tip elevation and your retrieve speed and that kind of thing. But I'll always have a spoon. I'll have a top water, and I'll have a subsurface bait or suspending bait. So I've got a Mirrodine tied on, 17 MR. I'll typically have like a Mirror Lure Top Dog or the new Duke Dog that they came out with a couple of years ago, and that's a killer bait right now. I mean, the bait size that I'm seeing is probably about that big. That's the same size as the Duke Dog. Caught some Jack Crevalle come in and blasting the stuff, and I bring this one Jack in.
Dude.
And
now my mind went to top water action for Jack Crevalle.
Well,
big Jack Crevalle.
So much fun.
I brought the thing in and things flopping around on the ground, and I'm taking the hooks out, and it barfs up a bait this big. It looked exactly like the Duke Dog, the same color, the same everything, and I was like, that's why they're eating it, And so it's just kind of interesting, and then I'll get a deeper diving bait or whatever. But there's just so many lures out there, and it's like I've been testing these things for 50 some odd years, and I used to have a huge bunch of them, but stuff kind of goes away in time.
Gets lost in his storage.
Or ex-wives own them or whatever.
We got on a good jack bite the other day. And
Jack Crevalle?
A little Jack Crevalle's, and it was one after another. I mean, they were like 2 to 4 pounders. But there's been some bigger ones like moving through once in a while, but there hasn't been as many big schools of big jack. Usually I see it later, like in the year when like the
fall run.
Yeah.
When you get the
about when the big
fry bait, fry bait,
like September, October.
You get a lot of fry bait and a lot of more mullet and a lot of glass minnows around, and then you start seeing these big schools of frothing jacks. But topwater jack is fun.
Oh yeah, that's the best.
Yeah.
I remember when I'd seen
Oh yeah.
So much fun. Always fun chasing jacks. If you want to join the conversation, give us a call, 1-800-969-9352. Real Animals Radio. We'll be right back after this.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just search Reese.
It's a school of like 25, 30-pound jacks. I mean, pushing water up about this high, and occasionally you'd see a mullet jump out of the water and these things chasing it, and I'm going down.
Jacks were eating mullet?
Oh, my God.
Wow.
A single bite. And these things are just hauling buggy trying to get away from the jacks, and I'm going down in the boat, and I'm looking for a Mirror Lure Top Dog, And he said, what are you doing? I said, I'm looking for a top water lure. Get the fuck up here. Just throw your damn shrimp out there. They'll eat it. I said, no, I want to see them eat it. Oh, yeah.
That's funny.
Did I say? I keep saying stuff I shouldn't be saying on that.
Yeah, that's all right.
No.
As long as you don't do it on the radio, we're good.
Yeah, I know. It's been a while. We did that show up over, what was that, off of Cypress? We had one off Cypress. We had different, like 3 or 4 different studios that we moved around with that Florida Sportsman show. So, it was nice when it was in Seminole. I used to pull up off of Park Street on the way over, and one morning I caught a flounder that was about that long.
Yeah.
And I'm going like, I don't have anything to put it in. I threw it in. I had a jacket in the back of the car, and I took the thing, wrapped it up, threw it in there. Gary Folden, who was doing the show with me, when we were done with the show, and came back out, and I opened up the trunk, and I said, Gary, check this out. And he says, what's it wearing a coat for? Like, what?
Wait. You caught?
Yeah.
You caught a flounder.
Yeah.
Wrapped it in a jacket, and then went and did a radio show?
Yeah. Well, it was only an hour show. You know?
That's hilarious.
We actually caught a flounder up in Double Branch recently. And I was like, oh, nice. It was probably 14, 15 inches.
So, monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but there's not a lot of flounder in the
That was the one that wasn't legal yet back when they went from 12 inches to 14.
I literally bought some of those DOA,
Terrorize?
No, the little grub ones with the flat tail.
Oh, yeah.
The grub. And I haven't had a chance to go throw it.
You know what I like about those?
Because it's straight.
Well, it's a stiffer, tougher bait. It's probably the toughest bait they make. And I like to sweep a rod with it instead of just real twitch.
Yeah, like
when you sweep it, because it has so much vibration, it just.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I want to go get some flounder. Let's go get some flounder.
So for those talking about the hotel thing, unfortunately, that's not going to work out. It was close though, potentially. Maybe next time.
Oh, a hotel at like Hubbard.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, we're back.
Well, they're building a whole new area of land for it, aren't they?
There's going to be
All right, we are back. Real Animals Radio, talking fish. Hopefully hearing from you as well. Remember 1-800-969-9352 to join the conversation. Want to give a shout out to our friends over at DocServe. Remember, at Hubbard's Marina, keeping our fleet running safely and smoothly is the backbone of everything we do. That's why we partner with our friends at DocServe. Their mobile marine mechanic team is responsive, knowledgeable, and always right there when we need them. What really keeps us on the water is their monthly inspection program. DocServe gives us multiple set of trained eyes on every one of our outboard vessels, helping us catch small issues early and avoid major breakdowns down the road. Their membership program even comes with those monthly inspections, but also free diagnostics if something comes up. They are a premier mobile marine mechanic service in Tampa Bay, offering service on both Yamaha and Mercury outboards, and they can handle your marine electronics and popular trolling motors too. Reach them today at 813-807-7676 or visit them online at docserve.us to link up with our great team. Good stuff over there for sure. We got our buddy Captain Van Hubbard on the line. Good morning, Captain Van. How are you, buddy?
Vanley.
Good morning. I'm just wonderful. I just had to harass Ray. I couldn't let him get by having it so easy.
I love it.
Let him have it. Wouldn't be another day in paradise if you didn't. Have at it.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to go take those drone spoons, go out and catch me some Spanish mackerel. I got to pick up my trip here in a little bit, so I just had a few minutes. Thanks for getting to me.
Nice. Well, I'm glad we were able to grab you quickly. It seems like those mackerel are hanging around for us. Water temperatures are creeping up slowly. What do you got down there, water temp-wise?
Well, it's hit and miss. Dylan, they're here one day and gone the next. One of my offshore boys coming in last night, just a little, about about 5:30. Said they were jumping all over the place. So we're going to see if they're out there again this morning. It's one day they're great, and the next day you can't catch one.
Yeah. It's kind of how we've seen it too. It hasn't been like all out crazy. Right now, looking at the water temperature at the Egmont Key buoy, it is right there around mid 72, so 72, 73 degrees. So water temps still in the right range. Hopefully they'll hang around for us, and we are seeing some spotty kingfish in the mix too. So looking forward to hopefully having them around for a few more weeks.
Yeah, King of Beach is coming up, isn't it?
King of the Beach
Next
is not.
weekend.
Yes, it's not today. It's next weekend, and
it'll be blowing and nasty.
Well, I'm hoping not. I got blessed with the opportunity. We're working with the Old Salts, maybe even Mike too. We're going to be emceeing the live stream event, so I'm excited. Looking forward to it. I'll be hanging out at King of the Beach next weekend.
I got a question.
But ironically, looking at advanced forecast, it is blowing gust into 28 out of the south Saturday.
Yeah,
Kingfish weather.
Yeah.
So for Spanish mackerel, I mean, I have long shank hooks. I'm still getting bit off like all the time.
Mm-hmm.
How do you not? I mean, how do you not get bit off?
Okay, you want to know the secret?
Yes.
Keep a tight line. If you hesitate when a Spanish bites, if you have slack line when a Spanish bites, he's going to swallow it.
Right.
Yeah.
Just keep it tight. Do you like hooking them through like your pilchers through the eyes, or like depending on the current, or do you do like a chest hook? Do you ever cut the tails off?
It depends on the current. If there's any current, then you got to hook them in the nose.
Right.
And if there's not, I hook them on the pectoral fins there, so they go down and shine a little bit better.
Just keep a tight line.
Just keep a tight line, yes, sir.
Set the hook quick.
And when he bites, don't hesitate. Just snap your wrist.
They set the hook themselves. So like, they just rip it.
Most of the time, but if he's coming at you, you need to react, because that's when he's swallowing it and cutting you off.
Oh, I mean, I'm not seeing these fish. They're just hidden, you're not seeing them, but they're smacking it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting. Got to get after it. That's
I mean, it's
the
crazy.
trick.
They'll cut 3 feet of leader off. And you're like, how'd that happen?
Are you using a swivel?
No.
Okay.
God, no.
Yeah. Because they'll hit the swivel. Anything.
Even the knot up there, though, they'll hit sometimes. That's where they cut you off there.
Less likely to bite off the swivel if you use a black one or coffee colored.
We caught a big mackerel the other day. I mean, it probably weighed 7-8 pounds. I was like, holy cow.
Wow.
It was giant and
It
fat.
wasn't a kingfish?
No, that's what I thought at first, because it smoked line off. It was probably 27 inches at the fork. It was big.
Beefy.
It was beefy.
That's cool.
That was full of
We're finding our biggest and best mackerel action scattered fish in the harbor, and I'm sure you've got them all over Tampa Bay up there, especially by the Skyway.
Yeah, they've been really tearing up big thread fins too, though.
Where are you seeing them?
By the bridges, just pretty much all. Whether you got a lot of flowing water.
Yeah.
Like there's those.
But
little,
I mean, you're not seeing them all the way at the causeway. You're seeing them.
No, I stopped on my way up to the causeway, like at the causeway, and I'm like, my guys want to catch some trout, so I'm like, I'm gonna throw under the bridge to see if I can get a couple trout under here. And I got cut off twice in a row.
Oh wow! So mackerel all the way up at the Courtney Canyon.
Yeah, stole both my jig heads.
What are you using for a leader?
I had 30-pound test leader, and they just.
That's not much.
I was throwing that curly tail from the DOA, and it hit the bottom. Jig, gone. And I'm like, oh.
Mackerel action.
Van, you seen any pompano down there?
Oh, he's getting pompano.
Not right now. 2 weeks ago, we got some. The salinity is so high right now, those fish will go way up the bay until you start getting some rain.
That's what I was talking about. We need some rain to push some of these redfish and snook out. Like the water in the upper bay is like crystal clear right now, and it's usually not that clear. Like,
good time to do your homework. Mark your spots.
Well, oh yeah. Oh, I know.
Take advantage of the clear water while we got it.
And some of the guys might not be thinking about this, but we have a lot of small rivers that are on our coastline, Alafaya, and Little Manatee, Big Manatee, whatever. And when that outgoing tide is coming out of there, the water is less saline around the mouth of those rivers. And I find there's a bigger concentration of a multitude of fish in that. I just got to think that it's more to their liking, because I mean there are definitely some fish that like the salt water, salty salt, and then there's others that they really like brackish or whatever. So you find a lot of snook in it, And I think that's why we haven't seen tons and tons of snook, like getting away from the mouths of the rivers and stuff. So,
They're hanging out up there waiting for the rain.
yeah, I think so.
They're hanging up there, as Scotty would say, with the groceries.
Yep.
Because that brackish water and that outflowing river,
They're eating
that's
that
where the food
tilapia and
is.
whatnot.
Interesting.
Mara.
Well, we appreciate you, Captain Van. Catch him up today. Good luck.
Thanks for the
Good luck.
advice.
Have a great show.
You're the man.
Catch you later.
Always a pleasure to hear from Captain Van Hubbard. Hopefully we'll hear from you as well. Remember, 1-800-969-9352 to join the conversation. Real Animals Radio will be right back after this.
I'm like, oh, we might have a kingfish on here. And then I was like, oh, he kind of stopped. And he got in. I mean, this thing was like that fat around. And it was like that long. I'm like, good Lord.
I tell you.
That's the biggest
Hey,
mackerel.
D, is Bobby. Oh, yeah, Bobby Woodard. All right, cool. Thanks, man.
The fastest I've ever seen a fish run. I was down in the Bahamas. I was doing a story for Florida Sportsman on bonefish. And I was fly fishing. And my wife at the time, she was fishing with a spinning rod.
They were just showing the missing student, but yeah.
Oh. And anyway, when I'd hook a bonefish and the fly line would go through the water, it actually sounded like a searing steak.
Yeah.
I mean, literally like you were cooking fajitas or something, you know? That shh, the line going through the water. And she was fishing with Power Pro. She had a 10-pound Power Pro on a little spinning rod. And she was using love lures used to make some crappie jigs, little teeny things about maybe 1.5 inches, 2 inches long. Put it on a small jig head, and she was chucking that out. She got like 6 on that little crappie jig. But when the place that we were fishing was maybe 12, 14 inches deep, and there was a lot of red mangrove shoots sticking up. When those fish would run around and take that line, the Power Pro would hit those things, and it would just saw all those little tips of things that they just like fallen trees. It's like, man, things are going down.
I've yet to catch a bonefish. I went to Port St. Lucie once, and then
I caught one on the sailfish flats over there in Stewart.
Yeah, I was on sailfish flats down over there, and I was like, oh, those are bonefish. I had shrimp. Throw it.
I caught it on that
cast.
Eppinger Rex
Only
spoon.
one I ever saw. Throw it. It eats it. It runs about 50 yards, and then drops it. And I'm like, oh. And I've never had a chance to go fish for bonefish since. But I mean, I've sight casted the crap out of them.
There's nothing that runs like those fish. God, it's like incredible. I caught 16. I never fished for them before. Every time that I'd been to the Keys to try and, with the intent of going down there, I'd be blowing like 25, 30. And if you've done any fly fishing, it kind of tests you a little bit.
Sugar Bear doesn't have a big coffee this morning. Your
Sugar
Sugar Bear?
I've got energy drinks this morning.
He's dead.
Two energy. He's already drank one. He's working on his second. I had a tiny little like Red Bull this morning.
I'm shooting energy drinks this morning. Normally I have 2 coffees.
This used to be a bottomless cup.
Bottomless cup. I'm kind of a morning person now.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah.
Depends on
At
which
4
morning.
a.m. I wake up no matter what time it is, or no matter what I got going on.
Where do you go to bed? Like 8 or 9 o'clock?
9:30, 9.
He wakes up to pee.
I haven't seen the freaking bed before 3 o'clock in the morning the last 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
4 o'clock,
Are
a
you
couple
writing?
times.
Doing a bunch of writing?
That too.
Yeah, plus you're old and insomnia and all that stuff.
Tough crowd this morning.
Oh
worry
man.
about stupid shit like
So like when I moved over here, I didn't really know anybody. This is 2007, but I was friends with him on Facebook, and I knew he liked to race, so I just kind of reached out. I'm like, hey man, I'm in this area. Let's go fishing. Let's hang out. And like,
You kept
it's
saying,
fun.
yeah, well, we're gonna get tickets to the Rays game.
Yeah,
we're gonna
let's go. We haven't been to a Rays game, but I've been.
No, I haven't been in the new stadium since they finished it.
No.
Well, new stadium, you know.
I'll go with you because my wife and kid never want to go.
I love to go, but I mean, everything that they have done down there makes me not want to go. I used to love to go and walk up to the ticket window and just buy a ticket. It's because, I never knew whether every day was going to be booked or not. And, I'd hate to lose a trip because I already have a ticket and I already spent whatever it was, like 10 or 20 bucks back then. And, all of a sudden, it's like now you got to do it on your phone. And I got like 100 apps on the daggum phone. The phone kind of goes to sleep in the middle of your screwing around with the thing, trying to get tickets, and what?
Nothing.
He just whacked his mic.
No, I whacked my mic, and I'm just laughing. So you are angry because you can't get a ticket at the ticket window. You have to buy it on your phone.
I used to save them. I mean, people save that kind of stuff for memorabilia. You wouldn't believe.
So you can't get a printed ticket anymore.
No.
I don't even want to tell you what happened
assholes.
to me. I had 8 people coming with me, and I bought tickets, and we all drove from Orlando to come down, or some people drove from Orlando, and I get up to the ticket window, and they're like, these are for yesterday's game. I'm like, are you serious? Like,
what?
And I'm like, well, can I get tickets? And they're like, no, we're sold out. It was like a Yankees. And I was like, I did this online, and I put the right day. It might have reverted back to the day. Nothing. Had to eat $500 of tickets.
Dang.
$500.
And we ended up driving back to my house, swimming in the pool, and watching the game on the TV. And my twin brother will not let me live that down at all. He's like, hey, we're going to go somewhere, but I'll get the tickets.
My favorite thing was to go to the Yankees games
and
the Red Sox.
You guys don't have to pay me. Oh, my wife was pissed.
I go to the Yankees and the Red Sox games, and I would want to sit in the middle of where all the Red Sox and the Yankees fans were. Mm-hmm. That way you could heckle the crap out of them.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, I was nonstop. I ruined more for cowbells over there and just sitting there banging them on.
So my wife got me tickets to the Steinbrenner Rays game for Father's Day. And she's like, what, June, July? And it's roasting. I'm like, where'd you get the tickets? She's like, on the first base line. I'm like, no, that's where the sun is. So yeah. So I'm sitting there and I'm used to the sun, and I'm just kind of misty, little sweat here, not so bad. Everybody
nipple
else
sweat.
around me is just
You and
drenched,
nipples, bro.
You're lactating,
just drenched, head to toe, dripping. There were people getting checked out by medical professionals because they were like heat stroking out there. Like my neighbor was there, and he's like, I'm done, I'm going home.
Uh-huh.
And the guy next to me is like, how are you not sweating? And I'm just like,
The trick is to be dehydrated.
They were
I'm so
beyond
dehydrated.
sweating.
I drank like 3 bottles of water like this morning, pretty much. Like my legs are turning into fish scales. I'm like, I'm so dehydrated. Oh, it's been so hot out there. Like,
yeah, I drink a bunch of water before I go fishing.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah, I drink like 1.5 gallons of water a day.
Yeah. Depends on the day.
I felt like I was getting sick the other day. I went and got an IV too.
An IV?
Yeah.
Of what?
An IV of saline and vitamin C.
Really?
Yeah. Stops you from getting sick.
Do you take any vitamins other than that?
Yeah.
Real Animals Radio Show, your weekly voyage into Florida fishing. Presented by Hubbard's Marina. Hosted by Captain Mike Anderson and Captain Dylan Hubbard.
We're back. My mic's not in, but it's Captain Hubbard, Captain Markham, Captain Goldman this morning. Talking fishing with Real Animals Radio this beautiful Saturday. I want to give a shout out to our friends over at Affordable Roofing Systems. Whether you need a shingle, metal tile, or a flat roof, our friends at Affordable Roofing Systems are your safest choice for repairs or replacements. With over 3 decades of roofing experience, let Affordable Roofing Systems guide you through this important process. They are defined by integrity, respect, and honesty, and they have a professional approach to doing business. Call them today at 888-397-ROOF for your free estimate, or visit them online at affordableroofingflorida.com. With that, we got our buddy, Captain Bobby Woodard, on the line, and then we're going to get our Visit St. Pete Clearwater Safe Boating Tip of the Week with Captain Jim Fogel. But first, let's get to Captain Bobby. He's been holding on for a little while. What's going on, buddy? How are you?
Hey, doing well. Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Show's sounding good?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Good to hear from you, man. How you doing?
Oh, good. Actually, just tuned in, a little while ago. We're in the car heading down to Bonita Springs, hitting up the IOTR convention this weekend. So going to be doing some cool, fun stuff down there with some fellow conservationists. So always a good time.
Nice. How's our buddy Travis doing? You went and saw him
well,
recently?
Man.
Yeah. I tried calling him yesterday.
I haven't seen him since he's been discharged. He's had some help staying at the house with him. His mom's been over there some, and sister's been over there. But no, he's doing well. We've been talking quite a bit.
Yeah. For those who don't know, Travis had a little bit of a health scare, so definitely keep him in your thoughts and prayers as he recovers.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
So
hey, just want to call in and share a pretty quick, cool. Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead. What's up?
I was just gonna say, how's fishing going? You got to be gearing up for tarpon season. It's about to get crazy, huh?
Yeah. If I'm just now gearing up, I'm behind the 8 ball on that one, buddy.
Yeah, you're already getting a bunch of them.
Yeah, it's been going well. A couple of days ago, we were out. It's been more of a morning bite on this quarter moon, but as the week progresses and we start getting towards that full moon coming on the 1st, should definitely transition more into that afternoon bite. We got the bigger tides in the afternoon, but it's been going well. Last a couple of days ago, I guess it was. We had 3 on. Unfortunately, tarpon fishing being what it is, didn't land any of those 3.
You jumped,
and then the bite pretty much shut off. So we just went and caught bait and got a nice mixed bag inshore, to round out the trip.
Nice. Well, glad to hear it's already starting pretty strong for you. More and more fish showing up every day, or is it already pretty solid?
It's pretty solid. We're pretty fortunate down here in Boca. To be quite honest, this past quote unquote off season or winter, we had fish. I mean, there's always resident fish around, but we had like the meat that pretty much stayed through the winter, which was nice.
What about the bait? You got a lot of bait down there?
Bait was a little tough actually. I'm seeing it here and there, seeing a lot of threadies. When we left the tarpon and went and caught bait, pretty reliable bait spot that not a lot of people hit, and we were catching. We joked and called them juvenile tarpon, though it was white bait, scaled sardines, giants.
Wow.
Dude,
dollar bill size white bait.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Horsey, man.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It's kind of hard for a trout to choke one of those things down.
100%. We were literally like the opposite of how it is some days, to where you're like scooping through the well looking for the larger one. We were scooping through the well looking for the smaller one when we were in the trout hole. Wow. But then we ended up fishing some inshore rubble rock piles and with some of the bigger ones, and got nice mixed bag, snappers, groupers. First time ever hooking a U.S. naval submarine, so that was kind of cool.
Oh, sweet!
Whoa!
Did it jump?
Dude,
how many jumps you get?
It ran straight. It ran straight. Dead straight line down tide, about 20 yards. Cupping the spool. Finally stopped it, turned its head, got it back coming about 5 or 10 feet, and then just the braid broke above the leader, so it must have rubbed a rock or something or whatever. But the customer looks at me and he goes, "What do you think that was?" I'm like, "Oh, it was absolutely a 55-inch snook. You didn't see it?"
Absolutely.
Yeah,
certainly.
So what did you call to say, Bobby? You were getting to something before I cut you off.
Oh, yeah. So just a quick cool story for, anybody that followed us, back in 2024, during the whole Yes on Tube movement we were pushing. Recently, City Council down on Marco Island proposed a ban on shark fishing off the beach.
Yep.
And lead counsel from FWC wrote them a nicely worded letter basically informing them that that's in direct violation of the right to fish and hunt, and strongly advised them to do away with that proposed ordinance.
Yeah.
So kind of cool to see our hard work actually being applied. So yeah.
Amen.
Nice success story.
Awesome, man. I appreciate the phone call. Thanks for calling in and dropping that bomb on us. I forgot about that, and I wanted to bring it up, so I'm glad you called in and reminded us. It's really cool to see.
Well, good chatting with you guys. Take care. Catch them up.
All right, man. Drive safe. Tell the better half we said hello.
Will do, man.
See you, buddy. All right, with that, we've got our Visit St. Pete Clearwater Safe Boating Tip of the Week. Captain Jim Fogle on the line. What's going on, buddy?
Hey guys, good show.
Good morning.
Listen, morning. Yeah. I'm really torn this morning about what I want to talk about, but two things have been on my mind all week. One of them, especially, we have had way too many boats that had to be rescued in the last couple of weeks, even the last month, because they're taking on water.
Yeah.
Up and down our coast and all around Miami, of course. They're just continuous, one boat after another, taking on water now. Boats don't normally take on water if they're maintained correctly and in reasonable weather. So you have got to look in that bilge before you go out. You have got to check those hoses and through hulls and make sure everything is in good shape. You've got to make sure you've got those hose clamps on, 2 clamps per area of the hose if it's below the water line, and stainless steel only. The ones you buy at the auto shop might be stainless on the outside as far as the band is concerned, but the tightening mechanism is usually not stainless, and it will rust in a minute. So for goodness sake, check that stuff. And most important also,
handheld.
You got to make sure that
handheld what?
Automatic bilge. That automatic bilge pump has got to work.
The float switch.
That's the first thing I do, Jim. Every time I put my boat in water, is test the bilge pump. I flip it on, make sure it goes wee.
Bilge alarms.
But also,
check those if you got them.
Also, that either you got to have a high water alarm in there, or you need to make sure that bilge pump, even though the switch is on, that the automatic portion of that bilge pump is working also.
Amen.
Because if the automatic part's not working, that boat, the whole bilge of that boat can fill up when you're running, and you hardly will notice it until you come down off a plane.
And then it's too late.
And then it's kind of too late, So for goodness sake, check that out.
I've fished in some boats that have bilge pumps that I think are really inadequate. And I won't say what brands they were, but anyway, when you get a lot of water in the bilge, it just seems like forever when you're trying to pump it out. And especially if Tampa Bay is notorious for when you get a cold front blowing through, that north wind kicks up a sea in there, and you'll have 8-foot waves that are real close together. And if you're trying to go downwind with that, you punch right into the next wave and take a whole boatload full of water. And I've seen, like 10, 15 minutes just trying to get it to a level where you're not having all your rods and reels submerged inside the cockpit. So it's not good. But if I ever build another boat, I'll have a backup bilge pump on it, and I'll always have a hand pump.
Yep.
Like Bucky was just mentioning. I got one on my boat.
I lent mine to Nick Nappy, who still has it.
I feel like you hold a lot of grudges.
But I'm such a nice guy, and they take advantage of me.
But we have to have those hand pumps on our boats.
They don't take up much room. They don't take up a lot of room. You can put them in the bilge if you want to.
Yep.
And that's a great thing to have, and it's a whole lot easier than taking a coffee can or empty bottles and trying to bilge out your boat. That lasts forever. You never get it done. The other thing I wanted to run by real quick was remind all you divers, all you scuba divers, that you need some sort of signaling device beside a light. 2 divers were rescued a week or so ago off the coast down south of us. The weather was bad. They went diving without leaving anyone in the boat.
What?
And when they came up,
where's the boat?
The boat's gone. Yeah. And they didn't have anything other than a small a flashlight. And they're lucky as heck that somebody, after it got dark, somebody from one of the condos or houses along there saw a signal out there and called the sheriff or somebody, and they did go out and rescue them. But, that could have been a really sad thing, and they could have been out all night. I think both of them were taken to the hospital anyway, maybe from a little hypothermia. But
wow.
They were very, very, very fortunate. You just do not leave a boat unattended.
No, sir.
I mean, even if you're snorkeling, you want to leave somebody in there, unless there's lots of other boats around.
Yes, sir.
Like there would be if you were scalloping.
Well, we appreciate you, Captain Jim.
Thank you, guys. Keep up the good work. Appreciate the time for the Coast Guard Auxiliary in St. Pete. Jim Fogel, be safe out there.
You're the man.
Have a
Thank you,
great
Captain
weekend.
Jim. Always visit St. Pete Clearwater safe going tip of the week. We got Captain Scott Moore on the other side. The Hall of Famer herself, Captain Louisa Fitzgerald as well. So stick around. Don't go away. Right
Catch up.
And he's like, and I was like, well, dude, just borrow my
I gotta go
hand
back
pump.
real quick.
Borrow my hand pump. And
Yeah.
he hasn't brought it back to me. And I saw him in the water yesterday. I'm like, where's my hand pump? And he's like, oh, man. I'm like, I want that back. Like,
I got one that's got a barrel and a thing like that. It's like,
yeah, it's a big
2 or 3 gallons of pump.
No, it's, I mean, I don't think it's that much, but still.
I remember
It goes fast.
I was in Terracea one day, and I'm fishing over just inside of Gus Point, which is kind of like on the north side of Sneed Island, like.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm sitting over there and I'm watching this pontoon boat coming in. There's like 10 Mexicans on it. And I'm going, might be a little overloaded. I don't know, but anyway, there's one guy in the back of the boat, and the boat's still running, and it's going maybe 20 miles an hour, and the guy's sitting there bailing, and he's like constantly bailing. I go, that's kind of weird.
Right.
And so I was heading towards this other little island in there, and we got there about maybe 10 minutes later, and we're cruising around the other side of the island. Here I'm seeing this pontoon boat. It's sunk on the other side of the island, up close to the island so some people could get out. They had no life jackets on the boat. They had kids.
Well, they just pulled a body out by the causeway recently.
Yeah.
There's no life jacket. You know what drives me nuts? Is
called
I
the
see
Coast
all this stuff, and they got these, I don't know, it's called like the Florida Boys, and it's like a bunch of young kids on like a little canoe, no life jackets. They're hardly of age. I mean, they're under 12. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, you got to think about developmental wise. Like, they don't have that quick thinking, cognitive ability to troubleshoot issues on the go like you do. You develop as you're an adult, and then you know these kids are going out there and they're getting themselves in trouble, and they don't think like that. You know, that reasoning and that logic and like step-by-step actions of what to do. That's how you lost those kids down in the Port St. Lucie area.
Yeah.
And you're like,
when
I don't care.
When I was a kid, I went out in the boat by myself all the time.
I was out
at 8.
I was 4 years old when I
Did
first
you have a
got
life
out.
jacket on? Did you?
No, never had a life jacket, but I had a Carolina skiff.
Right.
So I mean,
Had a John boat.
Yeah,
But,
and
I mean,
and I also, my dad made me stay in a specific
That's what my dad made me
area.
stay in a certain.
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed
I wasn't
to go.
allowed near passes,
I wasn't allowed to go
but I
past
did.
a certain. You did sneak out a little
Oh
bit.
yeah.
But
He's all right,
within
Dad.
reason.
Yeah.
Like if it was nasty and I want to go out, I had to stay in Bowley's Creek.
Yeah.
Like or just right there. Like I couldn't go past
Filthy.
that until I was like 14 or 15.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm like, oh, I'm taking the boat. I'm going to go to my friend's house over by Sarasota, and I stuffed the boat in a wave and had to get rescued.
Oh, wow.
But I didn't know that the old Sea Dog boat I had a crack in the hull,
Mhm.
probably from my brother Dave beating it up, and that front hatch filled with water, and we just took a wave over the bow. Like,
Jeez.
oh yeah, my dad was not happy about that. But it wasn't my fault. Like I didn't know there was a crack in the hull, and it was probably from my
You
brother.
stuffed it. It was your fault.
Fault doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
but
After
I didn't
you
know
get
there was a
back.
crack in the front, and it was probably from my older brother Dave doing dumb stuff with his runnies on it.
It's your older brother Dave.
Oh no, my brother Dave was a disaster. Any motorized vehicle, whatever, doesn't matter. He's a disaster. Now he's got this like old Mountaineer that's he loves that thing. He loves it.
That's funny.
But yeah, I mean, I see these kids out there, and I'm like,
Kids these days.
oh, like it just.
What kills me is
That
you
logic.
see the kids. Like there's one kid in our area who's out there on his 44-foot contender.
Oh yeah,
Lots.
yeah, that too.
44 contender?
Yeah.
Kid?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Better fisherman than.
Be
better
kind of like
fisherman
that
than
guy
most.
that came in over there at Ruskin, ran right into the restaurant.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
On autopilot or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's just stuff happens fast.
So anyway, I was telling about a
Pontoon
pontoon boat
boat.
that came in, had like 10 people on it. And as I'm watching as they're coming in, and there's one guy in the back of the boat that's bailing, like constantly, faster, faster. And we're on the trolling motor just coming around the thing, around the side of this island. As we get around the other side, here's the pontoon boat. It's sunk.
Oh, no.
Now your captains, Mike Anderson and Dylan
The Friendly Fisherman at Johns Pass is back under the management of the Hubbard family, the same great family that's been serving up the best fishing and dining experiences in Madeira Beach for nearly a century. Come rediscover the Friendly Fisherman today and taste the difference with the freshest seafood, improved menus, and the service you've come to expect from the Hubbard family. Enjoy unbeatable waterfront views, a welcoming atmosphere, and flavors straight from the Gulf. Locals and visitors are alike. Come see what's new today at the Friendly Fisherman. With that, we got our buddy Capt. Scott Moore on the line. What's going on, buddy? How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. I always carry an extra bait well pump.
Oh, yeah.
Wired up, and I always carry a bilge pump wired up when, I've got it in a box. So always smart to do that.
Yep.
Yeah, better be prepared. Better to be prepared.
Some sad news. I've got some sad news.
Yeah.
Ron Taylor passed away. He was with Fish and Wildlife. Of course, he was even before that.
The snook
and
man.
Ron was the snook man. And he worked with a lot of guides. He was a really, really, really cared about our fishery. And he, like I said, he worked with guides. And a lot of this snook management over the 30 years that I've been going, actually even longer than that. It started off with Brugger and Gerard Brugger. I can remember going to some of the snook seminars and then working way up. And we've got Alexa, and there's another person in there too. But they've done a fabulous job. I mean, it's a hard deal in Tampa Bay area because of all the recruitment on the fish. It's just, it's not easy.
Yeah, a lot of effort, that's for sure.
I remember when I moved down to Tennessee back in 1989, Ron was actively tagging and releasing snook down there. They'd seine them, and they were doing, growth studies and whatnot. And I'd bump into him on the water all the time. And he's like, hey, if you see any of these tagged fish, just write down the tag number, where you caught it, when you caught it, how much it, how long it was. They were looking at growth studies and everything. And gosh, I must have had 1,000 snook down there, and I call him all the time. But that man was an absolute gem when it comes to recreational fishing and the snook habitat and whatnot.
What year was that, you said?
89.
Wow, so they've been doing the FWRI and fisheries independent studies in seine netting stuff a long time.
Oh, yeah.
I have a photo.
Yeah, and of course, we had the snook hatchery.
Mm-hmm.
And that was Danny Roberts. Danny's retired, great guy. Work with him and work with them as much as possible. And, we butted heads a little bit on things, but Ron was a cool guy.
Yeah.
He knew how to handle people. He went into, he was awesome. He just knew how to handle it and how to put things across, which meant a lot. And most of those people over there that work are great people, and they don't get paid well.
Yes.
They don't. They work for pennies, believe me.
Those rare fishery science folks who are sold out on it, and they are in it for the love of the fishery. It's amazing to see, and how hard they work to integrate with fishermen who a lot of times are angry and talking to them because they're angry, and they have the patience to sit there and explain it to them. I see it a lot, and it's amazing to see. It's a lot of work. It's not an easy job.
Yes, and the main thing you hit on that. Listen, when you go to these meetings, be polite. Show them what you think, and be nice about it. It goes along a lot. We're all we get
catch more flies with honey.
Way, but put it across and show them what you think and the reason why. Believe it or not, they have listened to the fishermen over the years. on a lot of. Look at the trout deal, the 19 inches, and it worked. People barked about killing these big trout, and look where we at today.
Mm-hmm. Amen to that. Well, we appreciate it, Captain Scott Moore. As always, thanks for calling the show and adding so much, and definitely going to miss him.
Yep, good fishing, everybody. And write the FWC, the commission, a note and tell them how much you appreciated what Ron did over the years. Good fishing, everybody.
Thanks, buddy.
Scotty.
Appreciate it, Captain Scott Moore. We are up against the clock. We're going to get to a Hall of Famer, Captain Louisa Fitzgerald, on the other side. I can't believe I've had her on hold this long. She's gonna give it to us for sure. Hall of Famer on hold this long? Not cool. But we'll be right back after this. Our phone line is 1-800-969-9352. To join the conversation, we got Captain Mike Perry on the line after Louisa. And hopefully we'll hear from you as well. Real Animals Radio. We'll be right back.
From the local Lexus dealers, WFLA News.
Tag on it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fishing with him back in the day, huh?
Yeah, we used to go on charters with him. Him and a guy named Jim O'Neill. Remember Jim O'Neill?
Yeah.
Yeah. He got in trouble for like shooting paintballs at the pelicans and seagulls. He moved up north and went to chicken farming or something crazy like that. But I don't think he's still around.
I remember when Justin was first starting, and I was fishing out in front of Rattlesnake. I was tarpon fishing, and I guess Justin was probably going to go snook fishing over McGill or something, and he like almost buzzed us. I mean, within like 50 feet of our boat where we were fishing, and I'm like, and it was new, you know, and I called Scotty after I got off the water, and I said, Scotty, I know Justin's like new, but I mean, this is what happened. Just, you know, I'm not mad. Just talk to him, you know, let him know. And he never did again. He apologized to me. He says, I'm really sorry. I didn't even think about that. I'm like, cool. It's all right. I mean, he's a great kid.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the apple didn't fall far from the tree there.
Yeah.
I know there's all
Good
these
fisherman.
studies going on and the estuary program and these grass restoration stuff, but no one's touching the upper bay. Like,
well, you know, the thing it gets me.
I mean, no one's touching it.
Jimmy Anderson, who does that, you know, seagrass growing thing over there in Ruskin. I mean, it's right there. Because I remember talking to Ron.
They got grass over there.
Uh-huh.
Like, I was at Coffee Pot yesterday, and there was grass everywhere. There's grass on the median, but you go north of Gandy, and it's the void, pretty much.
I remember when they were talking about deepening the Port Manatee, and Ron Taylor, I was talking to Ron, and Ron slaps down a mitigation book. Literally, I have it somewhere at home still. It's like 6 inches thick. It says, this is what they plan to do, the mitigation for tearing up all the seagrass around the port. And he says, I've been through this thing like 2 or 3 times. And he said, there ain't a damn thing in this thing that's going to work. All the mitigation was not even from that area. It was all inland somewhere. And I'm, what? What's that got to do with a fishery? How can that be mitigation? You know?
That's crazy.
I just don't.
He was
when I
awesome.
moved here 2017, there was 17, 18, 19, 20. There was grass everywhere. Thick, as
Oh,
you can
yeah.
see.
Oh, my God. I mean, it would choke anything up there in the upper
I
bay.
go over
Weed
to
Nile,
Cabbage
my
Patch
God.
Point. There's grass.
There
There's
was-
giant trout over there, and there's nothing over there. And it's like no one's doing anything. Like, I know you might be pissing your money away by trying to grow grass, and it doesn't take. But you gotta try.
You gotta stop all the pollutants that are going in the water, the tertiary treatment stuff, the raw sewage, fertilizer, and everything else. And when I was like in the 50s, we'd go out fishing at at Weed Island all the time. The water looked like spring water. It was crystal clear. There was not anywhere in Tampa Bay that you couldn't see the bottom. I mean, it was a fishbowl. You know, like going up to Homosassa when I was a kid. I mean, back in the 50s, you go in that Nature Giant Fishbowl, that underwater, you know, viewing thing. There was snook everywhere in the river. You know, I mean, well, at least there. because it was 72 degrees. You know, but anymore, I mean, it's like you're saying. I mean, there's places that have zero grass. I mean, there was turtle grass that long. It was just kind of waves of it, you know. And it was crazy. I mean, the fishing was
Widgeon grass,
unbelievable.
whatever, you name it.
Yep. Manatee grass,
I
everything.
mean, the fishing's still good. Don't get me wrong, it's still good in the Upper Bay, especially if you like. But there's days where you're just like, why am I even guiding? Like, I can't catch a fish. Like I mean, I can't buy a bite. I mean, you're just cranking out a handful of fish here and there, and it's like.
Well, we had kind of a slow bite on Wednesday because we had high pressure like all day long, and I was looking at the barometer and it was like 30.9 or whatever.
It's been high pressure
it was.
like all week, right?
Huh?
It's been high pressure like all week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's it.
This whole week was really tough. Bright blue skies, high pressure.
I mean, there wasn't that much wind this week, which was actually a plus. I mean, but my gosh.
I'm roasted because of it.
I mean, it's like I had one guy, after 4 cancellations, we finally got a trip in. You know, it's like every day we picked, 30 to 35 with gusts to 40. What?
Not good.
Well, can we go? So if I lived on McGill Bay, well, anyway, shut up.
Bad weather's not fun.
There's a ton of manatees now.
Where?
Like in the Upper Bay.
Speed bump?
Kinda, yeah. Well, like right where West Shore Yacht Club is, like there's a little pocket back there, and they're everywhere. Between like Hula Bay and the West Shore Yacht Club, that corner. And
Is
like
there any fresh water
where my
there?
boat is parked, there was just turds everywhere.
Is there any?
Lots of them.
Is there any fresh water up there?
We're back, Bartow Ford, Real Animals Radio, talking fishing this morning. We've got the Hall of Famer herself, Captain Lisa Fitzgerald, on the line. We're going to get right to her so she doesn't have to hold any longer. What's going on,
Lisa? She
How are
already
you?
took a bathroom break while we were waiting.
Ladies first.
Don't have to hold it
I
anymore.
know.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
All right. Well, first of all, congratulations to Captain Ed Walker.
Yeah, Eddie.
For once again being on the Gulf Council. And, you know, I just want to say, you know, I see so many more of the captains and our anglers getting involved in the movement towards betterment of our fisheries. And I'm so thrilled to see this. What CCA is trying to accomplish is just getting that educational message out there. But what we've done with STAR has ruffled a lot of feathers, but I hope that people will understand that the next generation of recreational anglers are our youth, and we've got to do something to encourage them to get off their laptops, their Xboxes, their video games, and get on the water and fish. And so that is the reason that CCA Florida decided, one of the reasons, to take STAR exclusively to youth ages 6 to 17. That means that all of the prizes that we have available, that is $100,000 in college scholarships, from Real Tree Fishing, from Guy Harvey Foundation, Academy Sports and Outdoors, Digital Sportsman, West Marine. All of these great companies have donated cash in order for these kids to have an opportunity to go to college and have scholarship funds available. We also are working on the Teen Challenge portion of the STAR competition to award youth anglers ages 13 to 17 with a brand new boat. Actually, two. The Carolina Skiff, powered by Yamaha, and a custom new LT25, powered by Yamaha.
Whoa.
You know, both of them will have a Minn Kota trolling motor. Both of them will have electronics and power poles on the transom of those boats sitting on a trailer. So,
wow.
If
I
you
wish I
know
was 13
kids,
again.
yeah. If
That's
you know
awesome.
kids that are out there this summer, engage them. It's inexpensive. It's $20. They get a CCA membership and they can fish in the competition. They can catch any species of saltwater fish excuse me, any
I hit the
size.
cough button, but it didn't work.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's all right.
Any size.
That's awesome.
Take a picture of it
Lizardfish?
with the 2026 redfish, anything, catfish, ladyfish, jack, any species, any size, with the official identifier, which they can pick up at West Marine. They can pick them up at Hubbard's. It can pick them up at Gator Gyms, all of these different places. Academy, many of the local bait and tackle shops will have them. After May the 11th, you just take a picture, submit it through iAngler in the 6a-8a Florida Star competition. It's a random drawing, so it's not the biggest.
So it's not
fish.
not the biggest fish or anything else. That's cool.
It really makes a difference when you have youth participating and they know they have a shot at winning. Oftentimes in a tournament, you always go, oh, it's the biggest fish. Well, no, it's any fish.
That's awesome.
Spawning season for lizardfish is in November, so you want the biggest ones, yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna
you can enter
hit
a
the docks with the
lizardfish
sabiki rig.
I'm very, very excited about this. I think, you just get yourself registered, go to our website, CCAFLSTAR.com. You can get yourself registered. There's so many great ways to win. The kid that catches the most fish wins a brand new native watercraft propel kayak. There's Bull Bay rods, there's Florida Fishing Products reels, there's AFCO product. They will even get their own fishing jersey with their name across the back.
That's cool.
When they win a college scholarship from Tail and Toads. I mean, there is so many cool things. And then we have our award ceremony right here in our area locally, and that will be up at the Wiregrass Sports Complex in Pasco County. It's an amazing opportunity to recruit youth, to get them out on the water, and the whole deal is they can fish from a beach, they can fish from a dock, anywhere that they can catch a saltwater species, except for private impoundments or locations like that. They can enter their fish, any fish, every day.
Are we going to have the trash division again?
Yes,
Nice.
yes. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So they can pick up trash. They earn community service hours, 30 minutes of community service hours for every 5-gallon bucket, and some of the most amazing prizes from Bahio, from AFCO.
I heard a rumor the other day, Lisa. I mean, it's like,
yes.
I heard that there was also like a Dylan Hubbard tramp stamp for the winner.
Oh, man. I thought we were going to get through a whole show without this coming
Not
out.
with Ray, no.
Cannot be verified. A lot of these rumors cannot be verified except by the rumor that it's about. So you have to ask Dylan.
Nope. Well, we appreciate it, Captain Lisa. How would they get signed up?
They can go to our website, CCAFLSTAR.com. And I just want to share for the big kids, there is a competition called Lots of Spots, and they can go to iAngler and look it up. And the big kids can still win amazing prizes just by catching a redfish that has lots of spots.
That's awesome.
What if they get a trout with a can of red spray paint?
That's it. Sharpies are going to be on. Yeah, they're going to be selling out really quickly because people will be using them to make spots on their fish.
There you go.
We appreciate it. Thank you, Captain Lisa.
Thank you. Good to hear from you.
Thank you, guys,
Hey,
so
buddy.
much.
We'll see you later.
For support. See ya. Bye.
Exciting stuff. We got Captain Mike Perry on the line from Big Pine Key. What's going on, buddy? How are you?
Hey, guys. Great show all the way
sir.
down here in Big Pine Key. Love it.
How's the
Love
key
it.
deer hunting?
No, I'm looking at 3 of them. I'm looking at 3 of them right now. If you want to know.
Are you baiting them again?
No, I'm not baiting him. No. Boy, this show turned into the Sunday show real fast.
Yeah, that's what happens when you have Captain
You ain't
Ray
seen
Markham
nothing
around.
yet. You still got another 15 minutes.
Yeah,
or so?
come to OCC Roadhouse Tuesday night. It'll get even crazier.
I love listening to Ray talk because normally, you know, why Ray likes to talk a lot because normally he writes everything. So he doesn't get a chance to speak.
It's called verbal diarrhea.
I will be up in the Tampa Bay area next week, so I'm going to drop in on that.
Don't threaten us with a good time now.
And Rick and I've got a fishing trip planned next week with my big buddy Rick Gross.
That's awesome.
Whenever we're together, we got to go out and cause mayhem. So, but the fishing in the Keys has been good. We got one, Dylan. We landed a marlin.
Nice.
I've got pictures, and I was going to send you
blue, white,
a blue,
nice.
And
Nice.
he's guesstimate around 280 to 300 pounds. I got real good pictures alongside the boat and everything. About between an hour and a half, an hour 45-minute fight, and it was good. They handed off the rod, so all 6 customers got a chance to fight it and feel the power and watch the jumps and everything. And when it first jumped, I said, if we're going to lose it, it's going to be in that first 15 minutes. And that lure stuck in its mouth good, and we were able to get the lure back and everything, and it just ended up being a fantastic. And when we were done, it was early. They said, and you love to hear this as a captain, if we don't get another fish all day, you made our vacation in the Florida Keys. And that to me is what fishing's all about, is making somebody's day.
Amen to
that.
What did it hit?
Yeah, what lure did it grab?
Yeah.
Hit a black Bart.
Okay. Yeah.
Black Bart with purple, white, and black streamers on it, feathers, whatever you want to call them. They're rubber, but we still call them feathers. And it had a ballyhoo in it, rigged in a ballyhoo. So
nice.
Blasted it. So definitely wanted it. And the blackfin tuna, the mahi are really starting to show up. We're getting some in the 10 to 14, 15-pound range.
Wow.
The chicken dolphin are slowly getting in here. It's just a great time to come fishing in the Florida Keys. And my last bit of news here, we pulled into the dock about a week and a half ago, and we were getting cleaned up, unloaded, getting ready to clean fish. And I looked down the dock, and a man went down right on the dock. And luckily, everybody at the Marina knows CPR. He had a heart attack right on the dock. And should I say he is being discharged today from hospital in Miami. They took him over to Marathon and then flew him up to Miami. And he is alive because a bunch of us knew CPR. We had an AED, and EMS got there real quick. And so, folks, I know y'all know I'm a nurse, but I say it all the time. Learn that CPR. Learn it, because you never know. I could have easily not been there, and I'm not saying it was just me, because there were 5 of us rotating in and out till EMS got there. So
I mean, you can do breathless compressions too. Like you don't have to.
But, yeah, you don't have to. The most important part, guys, with CPR is blood flow. You don't have to give the breaths right away. It's blood flow. So I know, remember that.
I remember back when I was first getting my captain's license, and everybody was required to take the first aid course and everything. But, you know, there's been so many changes and improvements in life-saving techniques that a refresher course really is a great idea for anybody.
Yeah, it's always a good idea.
Absolutely, Ray. Absolutely. So, guys, great to talk to you all the way from the Florida Keys. And I'll see you guys. I'm pretty sure I'll be over there Tuesday while I'm up there for a week. And have a great day. God bless Tight Lines.
No
Get in that
spitballs
car.
this time.
No spitballs. God bless Tight Lines. Get in that car and head south. Take yourself a little vacation in the Florida Keys.
Yeah, buddy.
Thanks, buddy. Always appreciate.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. We got Captain Dave Parmalu, and we're going to get to him on the other side as we close things out. I want to give a shout out to our friends at the Friendly Fisherman. Remember, the Friendly Fisherman at John's Pass is back under the management of the Hubbard family. The same great family serving up the best fishing and dining experiences at Deer Beach for nearly a century. Come rediscover the Friendly Fisherman today with the freshest seafood, improved menus, and the service you've come to expect from the Hubbard family. Enjoy unbeatable waterfront views, a welcoming atmosphere, and flavors straight from the Gulf. Locals and visitors, come see what's new at the Friendly Fisherman today. Real Animals Radio will be right back after this.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just search free.
Well, I mean, you don't have to store it to memory if it's there.
Yeah, exactly. Makes it easy.
Don't need to clog the brain with the.
They don't have enough RAM up there for all that.
He's basically just making sure he doesn't get it wrong. He's saying it from memory.
It's a family business. I mean, Billy Bob slipping boogers over in the fish dip again.
Oh man, I'm hungry.
Hungry?
Yeah, you ready?
Yeah.
Well, Big Ben's not here. Or otherwise, the thermal insulated
The cooler would be out.
I mean, I ate at like 6 o'clock last night, but I haven't ate anything since. No snacks.
I don't remember what I did last night.
I made burgers.
Ooh.
Bacon.
Oh, I know. I went to Winn-Dixie. I was there getting some stuff, and it's like I smelled the fried chicken. I was like, I couldn't do fried chicken. It's on sale, like $5.99 for 10-piece thing, and they like throwing in a few shrimp and a couple of fish fillets. And, okay, now I got to buy tartar sauce.
Tartar sauce?
Yeah.
So, Angel said, "Are you a lot taller than Bucky?"
Oh yeah.
So Bucky is in the darker colored T-shirt. Ray is in the yellow T-shirt. People are asking.
I'm 5'5".
On a good day.
On a good day, I wore my sneakers that actually have a little lift on.
He's got a lift in the sneakers.
But I grew up. My best friend was 6'8".
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
Dang, 6'8". I'm only 6'7".
But he had his hands. His hands were.
Is your dad taller than you?
No, we're the same height.
You're 6'7".
Mm-hmm.
God, how long were you when you were born?
I don't remember. I don't know.
That got hurt.
I was a big baby.
I was 20 inches. That's all I remember. 7.5 pounds.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, by at least a foot.
Wednesday, September 20th at 3:45 p.m. I remember it well. Kicking and screaming all the way out. Then they slapped the crap out of me on the butt and like, ah! Welcome to the world.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone's like, you know, about the height. I'm just like, bro, it doesn't bother me if people are taller than me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Like,
How tall are you?
I'm like 5'5".
I've shrunk 2 inches.
Yeah, I can tell.
I mean, my grandfather. Shut the hell up.
But you lost a lot of weight, so you look good, actually. You have lost a lot of weight. So.
I look like a typical old fart, you know.
I've lost weight. I've lost about 10 pounds. It's probably just all water dehydration.
Water weight. It's that time of the month.
But yeah.
You're retaining water.
I said, Bucky, just wait. You're the next meme. Yeah, that will never happen.
Yeah, Angel is good at making memes. She's the one who made that meme with the Mahoney and Anderson that Mahoney posted the other day.
I don't.
Why don't you have like one of those stand-up cars?
We're back, Bartow, for Real Animals Radio, talking fishing this morning. Myself, Captain Hubbard, we got Captain Ray Markham and Captain Bucky Goldman in studio this morning. I want to give a shout out to our friends at Dock Serve Hubbard's Marina. We're keeping our fleet running safely and smoothly is the backbone of everything we do. That's why we partner with DocServe. Their mobile marine mechanic team is responsive, knowledgeable, and always right there when we need them. What really keeps us on the water is their monthly inspection program, catching things early and giving us multiple trained eyes on every one of our outboard vessels, giving us a peace of mind that is priceless. Their monthly inspection program also includes free diagnostics if something comes up. They are a premier mobile marine mechanic service in Tampa Bay, offering service on Yamaha and Mercury outboards. Plus, they can handle your marine electronics and even popular trolling motors. Reach them today at 813-807-7676 or visit them online at docserve.us to link up with our great team. With that, we got Captain Dave Parmalu, the mad snooker himself. What's going on, buddy?
Good morning, gentlemen. There's so much knowledge in that studio right now. It's insane.
It's definitely a good time this morning. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm hanging in there. I'm just winding down from last night's trip. I get to the ramp. We get everything, loaded up in my 18.5-foot Ranger there, and go to crank the battery, and it's like, not having it, not having it. Put the jump box on it, not having it, not having it. The guy looks at me and he goes, Dave, I'll be right back. I'm going to Walmart.
Gotcha.
He took off, went to Walmart, came right back in like 20 minutes. We threw the battery in, off we went, and we got about 50 snook.
Nice.
But
that's awesome.
So was the battery included with the tip?
The thing about it, I said, what are the battery? He's like, it was a $200 battery. And he said, Dave, you don't owe me a thing. I looked at him, I went, what? He goes, no, battery's on me. I'm like, brother. And I blew my mind, but I'm going to take him for fun for that kind of gesture. But yeah, I'm listening to you guys, and we were throwing the large Mellotron last night, and it was thump, miss, thump, miss, thump. I never missed so many on an artificial last night.
Wow.
Ray, do you find that Mellotron with that single hook is kind of like,
I haven't really had that issue, but I don't throw the Mellotron that much. I bought them when they first came out just to try them. And
if you had only one artificial bait to throw, what would you guys be your all-time?
Oh boy. Depends on the time of year, though. I mean, but literally, if I had to pick it, I'd pick a jig.
Quarter-ounce jig head with a 3-inch paddle tail.
Yeah, that's what I'd put the Cal shad, or actually the Mirror Marsh Minnow Junior. Either one of those. Yeah, they're both terrific baits, and you can catch just about anything on them. In fact, I remember one day taking a holiday on my own. I ran from St. Pete all the way down to Venice that one day and fished all the way back up, and I caught 19 different species on the same lure.
Wow.
And, it was a jig, same kind of thing. I mean, it's just a lot of fish eat that one thing. It mimics so many different things just depending on how you work it.
What about a specific color?
Well, color's another thing. It's like I've changed my mind and my opinion a few times on color. It depends on water clarity and a bunch of different things, but I was hung up on silver glitter, clear with silver glitter for a long time because the water I was fishing was crystal clear. And then there was time that I was on pearl. Pearl is phenomenal, but I found over probably the last 10 or 15 years, anything with glow, night glow, glow in the dark, has been the most consistent producing color for me. And that'll be my go-to. But
even during the day?
Anytime.
Okay.
I'll get a dozen people and ask them their favorite color, and everyone's got a different favorite. And if I come on the boat and I don't have their favorite color, they don't have confidence in what they're not used to fishing with. And I find that confidence sometimes is almost as important as the actual, what I think consider maybe the best choice for, because they will pay more attention to where they cast, how they work the lure, and pay just, a lot more attention to what's going on.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah.
Well, nobody knows more about artificial than you, Ray. What do you have, about $1 million in your garage?
Way more than that. I have a walkway going in and out of the house.
Well, Captain Dave,
I can imagine you have an artificial museum.
We are up against the clock here, Captain Dave. How would someone get a hold of you if they wanted to book a trip with the Mad Snooker?
MadSnooker.com or 727-570-9711. And you guys are just killing it as usual. What a great show, and I appreciate you for having me on. And I got to get with you with your guide, checker thing.
Yeah.
I finally got my shirt squared away, and now it's time to get going on that. I'll give you a text here on Monday morning.
All right, man. We'll get you a part of the guide checker family. We appreciate it, man. Awesome.
Good to hear from you, Dave.
As always. We got Captain Bucky. How would someone get a hold of you if they wanted to book a charter?
TampaFloridaFishingGuide.com or 407-977-7650.
That's awesome.
Also on Guide Checker.
Yeah, guidechecker.com. What about you, Captain Ray?
I'm stealth, and I'm flying under the radar, but you can get a hold of me of just my email, ray.markham@gmail.com, or give me a buzz at 941-723-2655.
And come see.
Is that your good phone number or your bad phone number?
Sometimes. Yeah. They're both full, so don't leave me messing.
And come see him Tuesday night, April 28th. This Tuesday night, we're going to be there at OCC Roadhouse, 7 p.m., talking fishing with Captain Ray Markham, myself, Captain Mike Anderson, Mike Mahoney. Everybody will be there. Again, Tuesday night, April 28th, 7 p.m., OCC Roadhouse. We got free angle coolers, free bull bay rods, lots of free stuff to give away, killer food, great drinks, and Doc's drinks to give away too. Awesome. Hopefully we'll see you all there again, April 28th, this Tuesday. Mark your calendars, come on out, and don't forget, if you're too busy to go fishing, you're just too darn busy. Thanks, guys. Thanks for being a part of our Real Animals family. We'll see you again next week for another episode.
This program was paid for by Real Animals Fishing.
Brenda Turner, Scott, Chris's sister, Jean Turner's daughter. She called me a couple of weeks ago, and I told her that I was going to be doing the thing over there at OCC because she lived down the street from there. She said,
"Oh no, she did get a hold of me." Yeah.
Okay, because she says, "Can I donate some glasses?" Because she paints glasses. They're really nice stuff. She does a lot of flowery stuff, but she also does a lot of sea life stuff.
Yeah.
And she does all kinds of shows all over the place. And I said, I'm sure they probably wouldn't mind. I told Mike, and he says, yeah, hell yeah, bring it on.
Yeah, she's going to be there. So we got lots of cool stuff to give away. Again, hopefully we'll see you out there again Tuesday night. It's going to be fun. Don't forget, tomorrow morning, Real Animals Sunday, 7 to 9 a.m. on 620 WDAE. And hopefully you guys have a great week. Thanks for tuning in and joining us this morning, y'all. Have a good one.
See ya.
That's hilarious.
A firefighter, or certainly somebody with a higher rank in the firefighting profession. I mean, you have an additional layer of community service where you're supposed to protect and help people.
Officials said the incident happened on January 31st when Lewin got into a verbal argument with a 65-year-old patient who was on a stretcher being evaluated. Lewin had him placed inside the ambulance and then grabbed